There is maturity there. There is strategy there. All right, here we go. All right, this post, by the way, over 1 million views on Instagram at Ken Coleman if you want to go check it out. By the way, if you're watching this on YouTube or listening via podcast and you think this is going to encourage yourself or other people, like, follow, share, subscribe, share this. Here we go. Number 1, your work has given you large amounts of anxiety within the last 3 months. Might be thinking about quitting. Number 2, you're not passionate about your day-to-day work. You feel like a zombie. Trying to make it to lunch. Trying to make it to quitting time. Number 3, you're living for the weekend. You can't wait to get to happy hour on Friday to drink your face off to try to forget all of the negative from the week ahead, or the week behind you. Number 4, you're not getting any opportunities for growth. Maybe you've been passed over multiple times. Maybe you haven't even been looked at for a promotion in a long time or ever. Number 5, you just don't feel like you're a fit. You've been there long enough to know, you know what? The whole phrase, birds of a feather flock together, doesn't apply to me. I stick out like a sore thumb. Maybe it's office culture. Maybe it's politics. Who knows? Maybe it's just not a good fit. Just the work itself. Number 6, you rarely feel like you have a voice at all in meetings. You just don't have a voice. Nobody asks your opinion. When you give your opinion, it's like crickets. Number 7, you know, operating word, folks, please, please, please have the maturity to hear what I'm saying. You know, with real facts, that you are not being fairly paid. You can look at the marketplace, someone with your skill and experience in your location, the average is much higher. You know for a fact, it's not a feeling. I'm not a fan. No. You know that you aren't being paid fairly. That is a sign. And then number 8, you're listening to a show and going through a list like this to get confirmation that you need to quit. I snuck that one in on you. If you were riveted and listening to that list, it's probably time for you to seek greener pastures, and I'm here to help. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Do you know what you were born to do? In order to get hired at a job you love, you need to get clear on your talent, passion, and mission. That's why our team created the Career Clarity Guide. In just a few minutes, this free tool will walk you through a process to discover what you do best, that's your talent, the work you love to do, that's your passion, and the results that matter to you, your mission. Then you'll feel more confident throughout the job search process. To get started, go to kencoleman.com/clarity.
How many of you like when someone just gives you cash? All right, good. We got a great group of people in the lobby watching the show. Hands were flying up. I think one guy sprained his arm. Sir, you should probably get that looked at. That went up so quickly. You're going to at least need some sports cream on that a little bit later. But certainly that's the deal. But by the way, we all love free stuff because this same group, and there's a great looking group of people out here today watching the show live, which, by the way, if you ever want to come watch the show, contact us, our main office. We'll see if we make sure you know the schedule. We'd love to have you. Anyway, here's what I know. You could take perfectly normal, high-functioning people like this great group of people in the lobby. This is a good-looking group of people. They can tell these people there's not a shady one in the bunch. These are good, fine folks. But if I put them in a room or an arena and we offer them a free T-shirt that they'll never wear and it may not even fit, watch them go bananas. Isn't that funny? We love free stuff. So there's a setup. I'm not offering a T-shirt that doesn't fit and that you'll never wear. Right here in my hands. This has to be true. Dave had to approve of this. We all are giving away Dave's money. I love giving away Dave's money. I have a spiritual gift of it. I mean, it's unbelievable. And so here it is. The Ramsey cash giveaway is back. You could win one of our $500 weekly prizes or a $3,000 grand prize. All you got to do is go to RamseySolutions.com/giveaway. Are you kidding me? I need to come up with an alias. I should enter to win this myself. But I'm going to have to come up with a fake account. which I don't have the ability to do. I have ADHD. I'll never remember. All you got to do is go to RamseySolutions.com/giveaway, come back and enter daily for more chances to win. No purchase necessary. You've got to be 18 or older to win. So that's fun. Okay, let's set the scene for where we are in this country. The economy is very interesting. It's a bit of a roller coaster. There's a lot of good right now. There's some bad. And I love to keep you folks informed. I like to think of myself as a man of the people. And so we've got some data that you need to know about where workers are moving and why, and how does that affect you? Could you get left behind? Here we go. 1 in 4 U.S. homebuyers want to move to a different city. Mortgage rates are at 20-year highs. And because of that, more people are looking to relocate. Where are they relocating? Let's just look at regions. The South. Hey, y'all, it's nice down here. But if you're going to come here, please vote the way we vote, because there's a reason why it is the way it is. I'm feeling froggy today. I don't mind saying it. It's true. I'll get to more of that in a moment. Some of you go, well, Ken, are you getting political? No, I'm not. I'm not going to endorse one party or the other. I'm going to give you the facts, and you can take from that what you will. Some of you will be offended, but it's good for you. 26% of property search queries at online real estate brokerage Redfin are for cities where potential home buyers don't live. This is the highest percentage since 2017 when they started measuring this. So a lot of people are going, I don't think I want to live where I am. They're not looking locally. All right, this is fun. The number one city. Now, this is according to Redfin, so you've got, your Zillows, you've got your Realtor.com, but this is, again, going to be pretty representative of where people are. The number one city that people are searching, Las Vegas. Now, housing is much cheaper in Las Vegas for people who live on the West Coast, and that's what you're seeing. But I just want y'all to know, I went to an NBA Summer League leadership networking thing about 2 weeks ago. It was 107 degrees. I went outside for 2 minutes at one point, and my hair product melted. First world problems, I know, but I'm just pointing out that's pretty hot. All right, Phoenix, number 2. Tampa, Florida, number 3. Orlando, Florida, number 4. Somehow Sacramento, California snuck in here in the top 5. I don't understand that. Sarasota, Florida, number 6. Cape Coral, Florida, number 7. Dallas, Texas, 8. Miami, Florida, 9. Houston, 10. Do you see a pattern there? You see a lot of Florida. You see some Texas. But let me tell you what the real pattern is. 2 things. Number 1, lower taxes. These are states with no income tax. And number 2, lower home prices. Now, the largest number of potential out-of-town home buyers are from Los Angeles, duh, Seattle, New York, and Chicago. The 10 cities with the largest amount of people leaving are San Francisco, duh, they got needles on the street for crying out loud. New York, what's going on in New York? It's now become a crime haven. Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Boston, Seattle, Hartford, Connecticut, Denver, and Detroit. Now, I'm going to sidestep a statement, and I'm going to ask you all to do some research, okay? Top 10 cities where people are leaving. I just gave them to you. San Francisco, New York, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Boston, Seattle, Hartford, Connecticut, Denver, Detroit. I want you all to look up each of those cities and find out what party the mayor of those cities represents. I just want you to do it on your own. Okay, I'll move on. Now, more, and I'm going somewhere with this. Households that are earning $200,000 or more are flocking to these 10 states. 5 are in the South. Just 12% of U.S. households earn $200,000. So I understand that just on those numbers alone, a lot of you are going, I'm not in that. But I'm going somewhere with this. Where are the high earners? The people you want to be around. High earners do 2 things. They lift us. They spend more, which is good for the local economy. They create jobs. They're go-getters. I want to hang around go-getters, not losers. How many of you want to live with a bunch of losers around you? Crickets, that's what I thought. Where's my sound effect? I missed my sound effect. How many want to live around losers? That's what I thought. The 10 most popular states for high earners are, these are $200,000 or more, Florida, Texas, North Carolina, Arizona, South Carolina, Tennessee, yeehaw, Nevada, Idaho, Colorado, Utah. Okay? Now, these are the states where high earn. Now, cost of living, yes, they can handle it, but they're looking for tax breaks. They're looking for better jobs because that's where you make the money. All right, now, I'm moving on. Last story I got to give to you. The number one city to find a remote job, because I know there's a lot of you out there that watch and listen, and you're still wanting to hold on to that remote job. So I thought, well, this is interesting. I want to see where the landscape of America is shifting because it matters to you. It matters to you. Where is opportunity? I want to be going to the land of opportunity, right? That's why I'm sharing all of this. I don't want to get left behind. 10 cities with the highest percentage of remote jobs. Washington, D.C. Now, again, I'm just going to be honest with you. This is not a political statement. It's just a fact. The mayor of D.C. has been the most aggressive mayor in the country when it comes to masking, social distancing, vax requirements, all that. And so most of your D.C. workers, folks, the overwhelming majority, we're talking way up close to 100%, not 100%, but are working remote. Congress probably as well. Supposedly, where they're supposed to be working for the people, we don't even see them. San Francisco, why would anybody want to leave their house in San Francisco? I don't want to dodge needles on the sidewalk. Do you? Chicago, again, Chicago's got crime issues out the wazoo, and you get to about October and it's freezing. Why would you want to go outside and have your eyelids frozen to the top of your head? I don't want that. Atlanta, Phoenix, and New York, the rest of the cities are international cities. So there's where your remote jobs are because you have a higher percentage of companies that are based there that are promoting and are okay with remote work. So there you go. That's what you need to know to do what you want to do. Don't move. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Are you wondering if you should leave your current job or stay put? You're not alone. That's why we create a job quiz. In just 5 minutes or less, this quiz will help you determine if you're at the right company and if you're in the right role. If you need to make a move, you'll even get practical next steps to keep you moving forward. Listen, stuck is a choice, and life is too short not to do what you were created to do. To take the quiz, go to kencoleman.com/quiz.
Welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you do what you were born to do. And let me just tell you something. When you figure out the what and the where, it's going to change your life. You're not going to be miserable. You're not going to be longing for other things. You're going to be able to take home some great energy and juice as opposed to stress. So welcome aboard. Hey, if you're enjoying the program and it is helping you, if you're watching via YouTube, would you do me a favor and help us grow? You can do that by liking the video you're watching, subscribing to the channel, and then sharing with somebody you believe it will help via the podcast app that you were listening. Please give us a follow and a 5-star review and share as well. Thank you very much. Let's go to Cleveland, Ohio, and Tyler is joining us there. Tyler, how can I help?
Hey, Ken, how you doing today?
I'm living the dream. What are you doing?
I am trying to get clear.
Good.
Yeah. So basically what I've got going on is I'm working for a local company. excellent company. They take good care of their people. But I'm finding that the work that I'm doing just isn't scratching that itch. It's no longer challenging. I'm becoming, I guess, bored, for lack of a better way of saying it.
Okay, let me ask you this. How long have you been doing this job, and at any point was it scratching the itch?
I started the job in May, and when I first started, it was, and I think there was a couple things that it was scratching. The schedule was consistent, Monday through Friday.
Okay.
The expectations were clear. I was given a list of responsibilities and expectations. I took that list and I ran with it. And one of my missions is efficiency that I learned. And I've now become very efficient at that list. And I'm like, all right, now what?
Yeah.
And I've been asking for more. But it's really like the actual work. So it's a facilities maintenance position.
So you like that kind of work. If the schedule was still consistent, if the expectations were still clear, and you had some new challenges, would you be on the phone with me right now?
See, I don't know, because now I'm starting to question if maintenance or working in the trades even is the thing.
Okay, great. All right. This is all good. Because we got to figure out what's really going on here. Because there's no question that schedule, you're an efficiency guy, right? You took the Get Clear assessment, I hope.
Yes, I did.
And your top missional result, the results that really fire you up, is efficiency. Is that true?
That's true.
All right. So I can tell you right now, a person who is driven to create efficiency, once you start throwing inconsistency at that person, they start breaking out in a rash. Am I right?
That's correct.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What's going on? Right? That's what's going on inside of you. It's just like you're freaking out a little bit, yeah?
Yeah, I'm freaking out. I'm looking for something to do.
I get it. All right, so that's part of the issue. But sounds like passion. Do you love maintenance type work? I mean, what kind of work do you really love doing? What'd your assessment say? Top 3 passions.
So 3 passions are promoting, researching, and making.
Interesting. Promoting, researching, and making. So the making is, you like building, fixing things, yes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. The researching is related to that, is my guess.
Yeah, well, I spend most of my day listening to like educational, informational podcasts and things like that.
Right, that's research. And you like taking knowledge and then doing something with your hands. True? False? Sort of? Kind of?
Yeah. Sort of, kind of. And then I also like to, tell other people that it might help them.
There's the promoting. There's the promoting.
Optimize.
So your top 3, that's what promoting means in your score, in your assessment results. You love sharing something that you believe in is going to help people.
Yes, sir.
And that's where the researching comes in, because you got to get to a point where you go, I know that I can put my name on this. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's correct.
And then there needs to be a level of you need to be working with your hands. You need to be, that's the making side of things. Now, we could flip that. It doesn't have to always be with your hands, but it might be you're involved in the, let's call building a process, maybe not a machine. Is that?
Yeah. I actually found an old notebook the other day, and I had this mind map. And in the middle of the mind map, it said efficiency, and it was all around figuring out how the current place where I was working at the time could be better efficient.
Okay, so now we're on to something. So I think the work that fires you up. So let me put it this way, and I want the rest of our audience to understand this. The world of work can be divided into just 4 basic types of work. Okay, think of these as large buckets. Every job in the world would fall in one of these 4 buckets, okay? So these are types of work. First one, no particular order, is people work, okay? The second would be process work. The third would be idea work. And the fourth would be things. And when I say things, that means you're working with your hands, you're building, fixing. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so your assessment scores are telling me that you're very processed. The work you really love most would be process work.
Yeah, I'm constantly thinking about how things work, how it could be better.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
So your Get Clear assessment. This is why I built this tool, folks. It's a measurement tool. It measures who you are, shows you where you are. This tells me you need to be promoting a process that you have researched and created or helped create. And if you're doing that with the whole goal of making a system work better, you are going to be on fire. Does that make sense?
It sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, that's what we're looking for. Career path for a moment, because it's less about those things. So, for instance, you could be in project management and probably be very, very happy. But you could take project management and move up the ladder and move into a chief operations officer, a C-suite role one day. I just think for you, you've got to understand you need to be on a ladder that takes you into work where, again, you're making that purpose statement come alive, using what you do best to do work you love.
I'm hitting a ceiling.
Yeah, you've hit a ceiling where you are without question. That job, if you look at your purpose statement as a job description, it doesn't exist for you where you are. True or false?
True.
It's time to fly. Time to fly, little bird. So let's go find it. And so we talk about getting clear. You and I just spent a little bit of time getting clear on the type of work that'll fire you up, that you'll win in. And so now we got to find it. And what is it? What do I need to do to get qualified? Doesn't necessarily mean a degree, but might be a project management course, as an example. Might be another certification, as an example. But that's your next step. You got to look for opportunities that are out there and then see what qualifications do I have or not have, and then we do that. And once we take care of that, we're able to step in. Make sense?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, no, wait a second. Tyler, you want me to just tell you, go do this, but that's not my job.
I guess I do a little bit.
Oh, I know you do.
I think that's like the efficiency and like.
Yeah, but here's the deal.
Logic,
there's a process. Guys that are efficiency driven, there's a process. I wrote a book called From Paycheck to Purpose. Do you have it?
Yeah, I got the audiobook and I already listened through it.
Well, my friend, there's the process. Get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started. You aren't done with Get Clear yet. You got to actually go find jobs that are out there in the Cleveland, Ohio area, or if you're willing to look regionally or nationally, you got to go find what's out there. And now we get after it. So I can't do that for you. I can't handhold you. But I'm telling you, get back to your assessment results. The purpose statement is the job description for you. Doesn't mean we're going to step into that right away, but at least it is a mountaintop if nothing else. So now, in order to scale that mountain to get there, what does that look like? You're very capable of researching that. It's one of your top things you love to do. So now you're researching one of your most favorite topics of all time, your future. Come on, Tyler. Go get it, my friend. You got this. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Did you know that recruiters take an average of 6 seconds to scan a resume? And that's if they ever see it in the first place. In fact, 75% of resumes are rejected before reaching a hiring manager. Listen, folks, if you want to get hired, you've got to make your resume worth noticing. That's why we created How to Write the Perfect Resume. This free guide will walk you through the 5 steps to stand out in the hiring process to get you your dream job. If you want to get started, go to kencoleman.com/resume.
As time moves on in the history of this wonderful world, the absurd continues to become the new norm. And I got to tell you, it feels like every day there's a new term that describes the absurd, and we're supposed to just accept it as though it's a new normal. And this is coming from China. So I haven't looked forward to talking about a news item as much as I've looked forward to this one, folks. So Here we go. Have you heard the phrase full-time children? Have you heard this? Anybody? Nobody in the lobby? One guy. All right. Very impressive. Full-time children. This is emerging in China, and it's happening in the United States as well. But this is fascinating. Some Chinese youth are rejecting career climbing, and there's another phrase. No, that just means they're rejecting being a responsible adult and going and working on their own. And they're foregoing a traditional job. But they are continuing their duties as children in exchange for pay or housing costs. This can range from running errands and doing chores to taking care of one's parents. Now, this is from a Business Insider article I'm sourcing. Now, China, if you don't know this, has a notoriously grueling expectation of work. If you don't know this, listen, this is amazing. They call it a 996 culture, which entails 72-hour work weeks. And what that is from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. That's brutal. Absolutely brutal. So, as you would expect, new generations are always the ones to rebel against things like this. And I think they should be rebelling against this. I'm the guy who's always saying you were created to work. Work is good. Work is honorable. It's good for your health, mentally, physically, spiritually. I believe that. But not working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. That's being turned into a robot. A form of slavery. Oh, that's the Chinese culture. So they cite a couple people. Julie, a 29-year-old Chinese woman, told the BBC that she works as a full-time child, cooking and cleaning for her parents. She even declined their offer of compensation, but they do cover her living expenses. Many young people are rejecting the modern work culture as part of the lying flat trend on social media. This is where college graduates are referencing they're going to opt out of climbing the corporate ladder, and they post pictures of themselves lying flat on the ground in their graduation garb. It's a form of protest, folks. And this is what the Chinese government and the Chinese culture has brought on themselves. So now this is very interesting to me because we hear all this politics all the time, and I'm not going to get into politics, but you hear about, China's the U.S.'s number one rival, and they're going to be the biggest economic engine in the world. I start to question that when I read this. First of all, folks, communism doesn't work. Communism has never worked. But if this is what's happening for the future generations, the future workers of China, I'm not so worried about them as some global dominant force. There's going to be revolution in China. Mark my words. Revolution from workers. By the way, go do your homework on the source of the French Revolution. Where'd it come from? Just go do your homework. I don't have time to cover all this, folks. There's another trim called Let It Rot, encouraging young people to openly express feelings of exhaustion and hopelessness. This is a recipe for a worker revolution in China. Keep your eye on it. In 2022, the U.S. Census Bureau reported that among adults aged 25 to 34, 18% of men and 12% of women surveyed said they live with their parents. The numbers are higher among Gen Z, with nearly 30% of 18 to 25-year-olds living with their family. Now, here's the deal. The cause of this in China is the unbelievably draconian work expectations. But the reason for it in America is the unbelievably sensitive parents who are worried about their kids doing anything hard at all. Bottom line is, folks, leave and cleave. Leave the nest, man. What's going on with this world?
According to Glassdoor, the average job offer attracts over 250 applicants. If you've made it to the interview, you've already made a great impression. So now is the time to showcase how you are the best choice for the role. That's why we created How to Win the Interview. This free guide will walk you through the 5 strategies to help you stand out amongst the competition. With just some intentionality, you can prepare yourself to win the interview. Go to kencoleman.com/interview.
All right, attention please. If you don't like wearing a white collared shirt, a tie, a suit, a sport coat, pants for that matter. Oh boy, that sounded weird. They could edit that selectively. This news is for you. If you don't like school, if you don't want to go to college, this news is for you. Parents, if you push your kid into a 4-year degree and he or she just isn't quite cutting it and you just know something's off, this news is for you. If you would like to make 6 figures but not go get a college degree, this news is for you. Demand for skilled workers in the trades is on the rise, according to a survey done by the National Association of Manufacturers. Their top challenge is attracting and retaining a quality workforce. President and CEO Jay Timmons is quoted in this Fox Business article as saying, "You can't meet demand if you don't have enough people to make the products. We want to outcompete the rest of the world." Stop for a second. If you love this country, if you want to build and make things in America and buy America, then we, the people, need to pay attention to this. I'm talking to parents right now. I'm talking to educators right now. I'm talking to politicians right now. I'm talking to bureaucrats right now. There are more than 600,000 job openings for manufacturing jobs alone. That doesn't include in the trades, carpentry, masons, electricians, HVAC. This is 600,000 job openings just in manufacturing. America's plants, if you will. Timmons goes on, the number is going to rise to about 2.1 million vacancies by the year 2030. Folks, I don't know if you've paid attention to the calendar. Summer's almost over. We're 7 years away from this. I'm worried about AI, Ken. The artificial intelligence is going to take my job. Not in manufacturing, it's not. Not in trades. So, hey, the manufacturing job situation is awesome for Americans right now. You talk about making money in the trades, manufacturing, it is, listen to this. We pay more than any other sector in the economy, says Timmons. You ready for this? Just so you know, I'm not hyping this. The average salary is 6 figures. If you want to be able to provide for your family in the long term, manufacturing is certainly an option. Whoa. Now, let's just pull this back for a second. Okay? Let's just say you're in any white-collar job out there and you're making about $60,000, $65,000, $75,000 a year. And you're a process-driven person. And you feel like you've hit your lid in that industry. Why wouldn't you consider manufacturing? Yeah, you may have to wear a pair of Dickies and a pair of boots. You may sweat a little bit more. But within 5 to 7 years, you could be making not just 6 figures, but creating a path for yourself to where you have your own company that you have figured out. You've gotten in the manufacturing world and you realize there's some niches, some channels, some other tributaries related to manufacturing. And that's what happens, by the way, folks. Timmons goes on in this article. We have an aging workforce right now. And so many of the skills that workers need are centered around technology. Listen. Some of you hear manufacturing, you go, I don't want to have dirty fingernails and sweat all day long. Okay, well, yeah, I got a guy out in the lobby going, I want that. Well, I'll tell you. The kind of manufacturing of the future, this is Timmons, the president. The kind of manufacturing of the future is a digitization of manufacturing. I had to get up early this morning to learn how to say that phrase. That's not easy to say, but that's technology. Oh, wait a second. That's where my friends at Bethel Tech come in. By the way, we need to be talking to Ryan about that, Alex. Where these technology qualifications will allow you to move into so many different sectors because technology, where does AI come into manufacturing? It will make things more efficient, but it will still need a human being to monitor. So you got to be tech savvy. By the way, that's not a sweaty, nasty job. Young people today, they get it, says Timmons. They understand almost instantaneously what is necessary and needed in a manufacturing career. So manufacturing in 2023 is not manufacturing of 1983. I hope you all are paying attention. I listed out the people. I wish I had every screen in Times Square right now. I really do. Politicians, bureaucrats, get your head out of your rear ends. We've got to be creating incentives in our state school systems where parents and kids are educated that the trades and manufacturing is a great freaking way of life. But for the last 5 decades, the trades and manufacturing has been poo-pooed. It's been looked down upon. Why? Because there was big business in student loans. Uh-oh, there it is. I said it. The federal government's making a lot of cheddar loaning kids money for a degree they cannot afford and increasingly they cannot use. Someone has to say it. I'm saying it. But see, parents, when I say that, you kind of half agree with me, or maybe you agree with me a lot, but you go, yeah, but here's the deal. All the jobs require degrees. No, they don't. I just gave you a very, very easy path to 6 figures. You don't have to go to school for 4 years to get a manufacturing job. Oh, by the way, this benefits all of us, not just your kid. Not just you. It benefits the American economy. Why? We have a problem when we have 600,000 manufacturing jobs that aren't being filled, folks. You can't keep up with the demand. I mean, how many of you out here, just for another vantage point on this, how many of you out there think we shouldn't be manufacturing everything from China? How many think Congress ought to get off their butts and figure out a way to incentivize companies to create American jobs by buying American-made products? Oh, Ken, you're just getting political today. No, I'm not. This isn't political. This is about America. Murica. We want to create more jobs. We got jobs. We got 600,000 jobs we can't fill. Why? Because we've told Johnny and Susie their whole life that they're supposed to get a college degree because then they can get a really nice job wearing a white shirt and a tie. And they can't. 4 out of 10 recent college grads are working in jobs that don't require degrees. It's time we stop looking down our nose at manufacturing. You got the head of the U.S. Manufacturing Association saying we can't find people who want to work in these jobs, and we're paying 6 figures. So you want to go sit in your little cube and make $60,000? That's what I think of that. Why would you want to do that? What's the point? So, why do I share this? Because I'm just one voice. I can't get to everybody. But we've got to change the perception in this society of trade jobs, of the opportunity it provides you in the short term and in the long term. We got to stop looking down our nose at these jobs because that's where the U.S. economy is, folks. And the bigger question is, what role do we, the people, have in our economy? I think we ought to have an active role. So that means start changing the conversation at the cocktail party. Start telling your kids, hey, here's another path, and it's honorable, and it's good. Something to think about. This is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.
Thanks for listening to the Ken Coleman Show. For more, you can find the show on demand wherever you listen to podcasts and watch the show on YouTube. You can also find Ken across all social media by following @Ken Coleman.